My name's Katrina Bro, and I'm with American Income Life Insurance Company. And you get to know people through the form method, family, occupation, recreation, and me, and you relate to them. Then when they say, what's this about? The members who responded to the mail out from the group are entitled to additional benefits if they qualify. My job is simple. It is to provide you with information of the no cost benefits you are entitled to, and at the same time show you additional benefits you may qualify for. I'll show you a quick video that will explain the relationship between us and your company and why they chose to work with our company. And then you play that, and then after that's done, does this video make sense? Now that you have a little more information on why your organization chose to work with our company, I'll play you a quick video that will explain a little more about our company culture and why we are here. Okay, and then that's when you play the company culture video. So, as you can see, we're a company that believes if we're going to work in a community, we need to be consistently giving back to that community. One of the ways we accomplish this is by providing opportunities to anyone looking for a new career change, or a fresh career, or a first employment. And then you ask for non-perishable food. Is there anything you would like to donate today? And get the non-perishable food. So your first no-cost benefit is the accidental death and dismemberment. Okay, this benefit is provided to you at no cost to you by your group as a way of thanking you for being a member in good standing. And then you pay the accidental death and dismemberment. Okay, and then get their beneficiary. And when they give you your their beneficiary, make sure you get their address. And then let them know, what they need now is 2 contingent beneficiaries in case something were to happen to you and your beneficiary at the same time. And you get that information. Let's start with, this used to be a closed program, but now what they allow you to do is to give $20,000 in accidental death and dismemberment away. Isn't that awesome? The way you can do this is in $2,000 increments, meaning you can sponsor up to 10 people to receive the same no-cost benefit that you just received at no cost to you or them. The neat part about this is that your 2 contingent beneficiaries automatically qualify for this benefit. And make sure you get their addresses in there on your information. And let them put their contingent beneficiaries in, and then you've given away $4,000. That means you only have $16,000 left, which means you only have $16,000 left. It gets better. Your immediate family automatically qualify for this benefit. We'll start with, and that's when you go back to the report building, We'll start with your brother that you were talking about, and make sure you get their information in. Oh. Your next no-cost benefit is the Child Safe mobile app, the Child Safe Kit. This benefit is designed to help protect your children. The kits are endorsed by the National Teachers, School Administrators, and the Police Officers Unions of America. And I'll let the video explain a little better Okay, so then that's when you play your, child safe mobile app kit video. Or if they want the paper kit, you play that too instead. So our goal is to get these kits into the hands of every family with kids or grandkids. What we found is that most schools provide paper kits, which become lost or filed away, becoming outdated. Which is why we created the Child Safe mobile app, which is always present and can be updated with features that the paper kits don't supply. Okay, let me show you how to sponsor other families through the app at no cost to you or them. So our company's goal is to get these kits into the hands of every Hoosier family with children. In order to accomplish this, they really need your help. What they need is 6 families that you know with children that you would like to see protected, and we will make sure that happens. Who would you like to sponsor first? And then you go into your referrals and type that in. Okay, the next benefit is the discount card. So your next benefit is designed to help lower your out-of-pocket expenses and will not affect your existing health coverage. It is provided at no cost to you and anyone that lives at this address for 1 year. It'll provide up to 60% discounts off of prescriptions, hearing, vision, and chiropractic services. And then that's when you play your discount card video. They also allow you to sponsor up to 4 people for the discount card. Who would you like to sponsor first? And get referral and go into your referrals, add those. Okay, and then when it's senior citizen, you go into the Medfax Kit Memorial Guide. This next video will explain the Medfax Kit Memorial Guide. These are 2 vitally important documents where you can record and store your important information in case of a medical emergency, as well as your preferences and information for your final wishes. Okay, and you play into your Medfax Kit Memorial Guide. Okay, and then you add referrals for those. And instead of doing the discount card, you do the Medfax Kit Memorial Guide. Medfax Kit Memorial Guide. Well, Mr. and Mrs. client, all those people that you sponsor today will receive the no-cost benefits too and have access to additional benefits. Please help your friends and family and let them know that I'll be in contact with them, okay? It is very important that they know that we will be calling them to make an appointment and deliver the benefits just like we are doing with you. Okay, so I'll really need your help with this. I'm going to forward you a text to send to them, and it'll be a lot easier than trying to call everyone once I leave. Okay, and then you send that text, make sure contact's made before you go any further. And then out of all the people that you sponsored today, who needs these additional no-cost benefits the most? Okay, then when they tell you, let's give them a call while I'm here, so that way they don't get bumped to the back of my list. And you get on the phone with them, make contact, make sure that you are making contact with them instead of anybody else. So that way you can get the appointment set and make sure they've got your name, your number, and all your information. So that way that appointment is made before you go any further. Make sure that you call, please make sure that you call everyone that you've sponsored today and let them know that we will be calling them to make an appointment and deliver the benefits just like we are doing with you. Okay. Each member that sends back a card is seen separately because each member has a different want and a different need. So what might be right for you might not be right for the member I just saw or the member that I'll see later. And this video will explain in simple words the need for these benefits. And you go into your insurance video. Now that you have a little more knowledge of the different types of benefits or the different types of insurance, I'm going to ask you a few questions and I'm going to ask you a few questions to see exactly what you qualify for, and we'll go from there. And then you go into your survey. And there's 3 different benefits, or there's 3 questions that aren't on that, and it's any recent hospitalizations or any daily medications, any recent hospitalizations, and have you ever had your license suspended or revoked for traffic violation or for a moving violation? And then if they say, well, I have insurance through my work because they just want you out of their house or they're tired of dealing with you, well, let me explain how that works. While you are working with ABC company, whoever, you are covered. However, as soon as you decide to quit, get fired, or retire, that benefit is gone forever and you are no longer protected. The reason being, it is a group policy. So while you're working, you are part of the group. But as soon as you leave, you are no longer protected because you're no longer part of that group. Okay. Before we continue, it is important that I review your mandatory read-off letter with you. And, dear member, and you read the letter, It basically says that after I show you the benefits, explain how they work, and answer all your questions, you give me a simple yes or no. Agreed? Is that okay? Make sure you get them to say okay, so that way they're not trying to just, distract you or waste your time, and you're not wasting theirs. Okay? So make sure you have a formal agreement before that. Okay. If these benefits make sense, as you'll see they will, go ahead and take advantage of them today. Due to the number of members we have to see, it could be difficult to get back out. And if they can't, that's okay too. Here's your group report form. I'll have you complete this form to be returned to your group so they can get your feedback about the benefits. Okay, and then you go into your needs analysis stuff. Okay, so the first major gap in the needs analysis has to do with final and funeral expenses. Okay, this one's trying to do. Okay, so the first major gap the needs analysis found has to do with final expenses. And then you ask them, Mr. John, whoever you're with, um, when you die, who's responsible for your funeral arrangements? And let them answer, Maggie or whoever. Well, does she know that? And wait for the answer, no or yes or whatever. Or now I do, what, if Maggie's right there. And John, this first video will show, or this first video will explain how the program can provide an immediate sum of money, how the program will provide an immediate sum of money to help take care of the final expenses associated with your death, so that the financial burden isn't placed on your surviving family and Maggie. And then you play that video. Okay. John and Maggie. As the video stated, the current average cost of final expenses is $15,000. However, because of inflation, the suggested amount is $30,000. As you can see here, you're not protected, which means you'll need $30,000, which is the amount we are providing you with if you qualify. Does this benefit make sense? Why does this benefit make sense? Get them to explain it to you, because you want to know that it's sinking in, because otherwise you're wasting everybody's time because they're not paying attention, and it's a big joke to them. So therefore, they're wasting your time, and you're a joke to them. So they don't need it, and you don't need to waste your time. And you don't need to waste your time. So Maggie, if John were to died last night, would you be able to pay the household bills, the rent, car, insurance, food, insurance, etc., without his income? Wait for the answer. Let them explain to you yes or no. And then John, how about you if something happened to Maggie? And wait for that answer. This next video will explain how we can help protect your income, so you're not financially burdened. So you're not financially burdened. And then you play that video for them and let them see that, the income protection video. And then after that, the next video, what does this benefit make sense? Why does this benefit make sense? Make sure you're not wasting your time. Okay. The next video will show how we can help protect your mortgage. And you play the mortgage protection video let that play. And then, does this benefit make sense? Why does this benefit make sense? And you make sure you're looking at your numbers through all of it, with the existing protection, the recommended, the need, and the proposed amount, all of it through all of these. And then the next video will show how we can help protect your children's education. And you play the college education video. Okay, does this benefit make sense? Why does this benefit make sense? And like I said, go through the recommended, the existing, the need, and the proposed amount. Go through all of it. John and Maggie, I have one more benefit I want to show you. This video will show how you and your family can be prepared financially for any expenses that may result may occur as a result of an accident. And this is for the A7100. But you don't tell them that, but you just say that, that's what you're including, the A7100 expenses. So John and Maggie, you play that video for them. And then John and Maggie, as the video stated, there are many different benefits. This chart illustrates the basic outline of how the protection will work, and you show them the chart, and review that now with them. If these benefits all make sense today, well, as you can see, I'm sure you can see the importance of this benefit if something were to happen to you as a result of an accident, right? And you let them answer it. Okay, so then that's when you go into your wrap up. I don't know why I was doing that early. So John and Maggie, just to recap, we have your final expenses taken care of, your income's protected, your mortgage is taken care of, and your children's college education is assured as well. Also included in the protection for your family are all the accidental hospital benefits that we covered. And that's only if the A71 is included, the A71,000. That's only if it's included. It's included. Now, if it all makes sense, starting as of today, you're taking a very important step in making sure that you're properly protected, you're properly covered, to be properly covered. And to make sure your needs are protected, they've given you two options to choose from. Option 1 provides all your benefits with inflation protection built in towards your final expense benefit. Or option 2 covers all your needs with smaller amount of inflation built in. Okay. The only question I have is which option works best for you. Okay, and that's when you wait for them to answer and so when they start their rebuttals and, well, we can't afford it, or we can't afford it. The premium is not your problem. It's the solution to your problem. If you can't pay today while you're still working and it costs pennies on the dollar, how can you expect your spouse to pay dollar for dollar when you are dead and gone? And then, oh, I still can't afford it. Okay, and I still can't afford it. I still can't afford it. I think I understand what you mean. You're saying that your living expenses are so high that there's nothing left over for insurance premiums, life insurance premiums. Is that about right? If it takes all your income for your family to live now, what are they going to do with little or no income after you're gone. Okay, if they still, oh, I can't afford it. When we say we can't afford something, aren't we usually referring to luxuries? But life insurance is no luxury. It represents food, clothing, shelter, education, and basic income for your family if anything should happen to you. And if they say, oh, well, I can't afford it, and they're kind of, no. Then, can your family afford to be without protection? Can your family afford to be without income if anything should happen to you? This plan is just a dollar a week per week outlay in terms of what your family would have to do without. Wouldn't you agree that's a small sacrifice to make? Well, I don't need any more obligation. Okay. Yes, I'm sure like most people, you have the current normal number of unpaid bills, debt, unpaid bills, and the like. But wouldn't those still need paid if you were to die? And wouldn't your spouse be the one who had to pay them? Well, wouldn't you want to make sure that after paying off your obligations, that your spouse still had an income that's enough to live on? And then, oh, I still don't need any more obligations. The reason you need this protection is so that your family can meet those obligations, even if something were to happen to you. Wouldn't you want them to be able to do that? Or you would want them to be able to do that, wouldn't you? And then, oh, well, I don't need it. You may not need more insurance, but your family will need more money when you die. Well, I still don't need it. You're right, you don't need it now. You're not dead yet. But I can guarantee you this. Life insurance is like a parachute. Once you need it and don't have it, you'll never need it again. Tell me, do you carry a spare tire in your car? And then when they say yes or no, you have to be able to still, on that analogy, if they say, oh yeah, well, it's because you want them to not be stranded at the side of the road without you there, and you want to make sure they're taken care of right at, at the side of the road without you if you're not with them, correct? Well, why wouldn't you do the same thing when you're definitely not going to be there and they will need your help more than ever? Play something like that along the lines. And if they say no, well, then you just have to relate to them another way. Or, I'll think about it. You wouldn't take the time to think about it, to think it over if you weren't really interested. Let's make a quick list. What points do you need to consider? And then make a list of what bothers them. What do they need to consider? Or, oh, I still need to think about it. I encourage you to think about it. However, I recommend you be covered while you're thinking about it. It usually takes 4 to 6 weeks to issue the policy. So let's go ahead and complete an application. And bind the coverage today. That way your family is covered while you're thinking about the coverage. Well, that way your family is protected while you're thinking about the coverage. And then, oh, well, I still need to think about it. Isn't it true in the business world that the ability to make decisions is important to advancement? It's just as true in our everyday lives. Here's a plan that you agree is a good one. Everything you told me indicates that you can handle the premiums without any difficulty. I'm here, you're here. Why don't we go ahead and start this plan today?